Welcome to iTechTriad Live. I'm Andrew, and this is Ben with me. We are your hosts. This is episode 11, and today we'll be talking about a couple interesting things, some pretty big things, like, for instance, the Windows Phone 8.1 official announcement that came out. Microsoft Office comes to iPad. WWDC 2014 dates announced, and two other things from Android, Galaxy Tab 4 announcement, and the Amazon Fire TV announcement. Those are some pretty big things. So to save on time, why don't we just get right into it with the Windows 8.1 official announcement. Ben, take it away. I know you're excited about that.
Yeah, I actually am quite excited about it because it's a pretty big update. Basically, some of the new features in it. Of course, if you guys are listening, you can read more about anything that we talk about in the links down in the description. If you're on YouTube, they'll link to the website. But basically, we have what is now known as Action Center. It's kind of like a mix of notifications and the control center on iOS, so you can toggle like your Wi-Fi and your Bluetooth, and then also you can see your notifications. If you've used Windows Phone 8, you know that there is no notification tray or whatever you want to call it. So that was kind of a downside, and now they finally added it. So it's a great addition to the OS, and it kind of makes it come to the same level as Android and iOS, which is really nice to see, because I actually really like Windows Phone. I think it's got some potential. It's just the app support is not quite there.
Yeah,
But
we've talked about that before.
a couple other features that were added. It now has support for dual SIM, as well as gesture typing. Like if you're familiar with Android devices, you probably have at least tried gesture typing at one point. That's basically where you swipe your finger to text. If you are an iPhone user and you don't know what it is. And also they added Cortana, which is kind of like Siri and Google now, but for Windows Phone, which is it seems pretty cool. It's kind of like they took Halo from Xbox to make that, so it's a kind of a cool little thing. I'm sure they're gonna get quite a few gamers getting Windows phones just because of that. So it's
No,
nice to see.
I think Cortana, it's basic though, right? It's just your basic call whoever.
Well, it's a pretty viable competitor, but it's still in beta.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it's not done yet. I mean, I'm sure they're going to add more stuff to it. I'm sure if when Google Now first came out, they could have said it was in beta, but it was just so good even at the beginning, they don't need to call it beta.
yeah. But I mean,
And
I'm not saying
so
it's
few,
not gonna
so
live up
so
to the
few people
same.
know this. I just want to say this because so few people know it. Siri is still in beta.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's just cracks me up every time. So Cortana, they finally have it on Windows Phone, and it's kind of exciting. I kind of want to try it out if my Lumia 520 ever gets Windows Phone 8.1.
Maybe. I don't know. Could. Well, I mean, that's kind of the same fate you're facing with what I'm facing with my iPhone 4. Definitely not getting iOS 8. Hopefully, by September-ish, October, I will get a new phone. So that that's a high hope for me.
hmm
But but yeah, Windows Phone 8.1 really does look nice. I checked out some pictures, especially on the new Lumia leaks that we saw. Some of them were
Which are also now confirmed. So we now have
yes,
the
yeah,
Lumia 930, 635, and 630.
yep. They
And
all were
their
sporting
names
them.
still kind of annoy me. I still can't keep
Yeah,
track of all their names. But
just not the better version is the higher up in numbers you go. That's with every
not really, but
not better, but it's
kind of
different.
depends.
A little more
They're all
something a
different
little
for their
extra.
own reasons, but
Yeah.
one thing that's probably going to excite anyone who is a Windows Phone fan, and I know there are many of you out there, is that the Lumia 930, if you've heard of the Lumia Icon, which is a Verizon exclusive, and it's probably the best Windows Phone to date, now the 930 is basically the Lumia Icon for international markets. And it's got the same specs: 2 gigabytes of RAM, Snapdragon 800, 5-inch 1080p display with a 20 megapixel camera, and key wireless charging built in. It's not cheap. It's $600 off contract, which is it's a flagship, so that's expected. It'll be available in Asia, Europe, and the Middle East starting in June. So I mean, I've wanted to get my hands on a Lumia icon for a while. I mean, it's a Verizon phone. I can't commit yet unless they get Google Apps. I just can't commit to Windows Phone yet.
Yeah, you can't use it as your daily driver. I can see that because, like you said, it needs app support. I mean, I would love to get into Windows if they had a lot of the same stuff that I have with like every other device I use. Because I mean, those apps you get used to them. You're like, you use them for a lot of things you do. But it's only if Windows had those things, then I would get into it because I really do like the feel of Windows and what they're doing. So.
Yeah, and they also released two other Windows Phone devices in that same day. Basically, like they got on stage and released three at the same time, and the other two are the lower spec versions. They are, and I mean, they're still pretty nice. You have the Lumia 630 and 635, and the only difference between the two is that the 635 has 4G. So the 630 is available in two variants, a 3G single SIM and then a 3G dual SIM. For developing markets, a lot of them have dual SIM because they don't always have coverage with just one carrier. And it's kind of a cool little idea of being able to use like two carriers at once. Like if we were in the U.S., you could use Verizon and T-Mobile at the same time. Well, anyway, in theory, it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
if you can actually get T-Mobile to cover where you are,
yeah.
or if you can actually get the speeds you want from Verizon.
I want to be on T-Mobile really bad. But anyway, continuing on with those, they both have the same specs, a 4.5-inch display. It's powered by a Snapdragon 400. I don't know if it's the dual core or quad core variant, but Snapdragon 400 is a pretty good processor. It's the same thing you would see. These are basically the same specs you see in the Moto G, which is a great phone. These will also be the first two devices available out of the box running Windows Phone 8.1, as they are going to start selling in May. And they're going to be available starting in Asia, and then the Middle East, and then South America, and then Europe, and then starting by July, they should be available here in the US. And T-Mobile actually confirmed, speaking of T-Mobile, they confirmed that they will carry the 635, the 4G variant, starting when it hits the US. So they'll probably sell that because the off-contract price for that phone is $190, which is, that's pretty good for what you're getting.
Yeah. We actually have quite a few Windows news. We don't normally have that. It's normally between Apple and Android.
Yeah, so it's nice to see. We've never started the show with Windows. It's pretty nice to do that for once.
Yeah, so speaking of Windows, one of the other things, the Start menu returning to Windows 8. Now, I still use Windows 7. I still use Windows 7, so I never lost it. I
still use Windows 7 too, but every time I go and help a friend with their Windows 8, or if I just have to use one, when I'm doing that, I'm learning as much as they are. It's terrible. Windows 8, it's just, some people like it if they have never used any other Windows.
Yeah.
I've used several other Windows, so I kind of need that start menu. I need that traditional interface.
Yeah, it was hard to get off of that.
Mm-hmm. And they're finally bringing it back. They finally gave in and said you can have it back. I don't know how they're gonna add it, as in because if you take a traditional Windows keyboard and then a traditional Windows screen, on the screen you have the start button, and on the keyboard you have the start button. I don't know if it's going to be to where on the screen, if you click it, you get the start menu, and then if you click the button, you get to that kind of annoying Metro UI.
Yeah.
Which, if you're a fan of that, more power to you. I can't get myself to use that on a desktop computer. But it's kind of cool. They kind of revamped it a little bit. It's got a flat interface instead of the kind of like, I don't know how to describe it, the not flat interface. And then it's got like mini live tiles to the side, so it's kind of a cool combination of the two. If I had to get a Windows 8, I would get it after this update, and I would not mind using it because I can use it now. It's like a traditional computer again.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I never even felt the loss, so really, it doesn't affect me too much. I'm still running Windows 7, and it's doing fine for me. I mean, I've always heard when Windows 8 came out, people were like, I don't know, because of course people who were using Windows 7, they were so used to Windows 7, they didn't want to switch over. Nor did I really. I started like using it a little bit with some other devices I was messing around with, and I just couldn't get around it. I mean, the start menu missing, the that UI you said, the scroll, it was really confusing for me. It wasn't what felt like the original that I really like. I mean, I'm not saying I would go back to 98 or definitely not Vista. Never even went to Vista.
Oh man,
I,
Vista, that brings back terrible memories.
yeah, but so start menu that returns to Windows 8 soon. It's
Like
not there yet.
it is coming in what is going to be called, and honestly, I think Windows is getting kind of bad with their update things. I've never liked how they did this, but it's coming in Windows 8.1 Update 1. So it'll be back.
Okay.
It's sometime in the next couple months. If you have a Windows 8 machine, you should be able to get it. If they charge for it, I think that'd be really bad. So we'll see what happens. I can't imagine them charging for it, and it's coming soon. So, if you've been missing your start button, it's coming back.
Yeah. So that's that. I guess we can move on. Microsoft Office comes to iPad. I know so many people were waiting for that, especially iPad users. People are like, oh, I love using Microsoft Office, but I can't get it on my iPad. And it was just a lot of complaints going on, and this was going on for a long time too.
It's been going on since the origin of the iPad.
Yeah, exactly. So now that it's here, people are kind of excited. Yeah, definitely. They claim most of the Microsoft Office. The app is how much is the app free?
The app is free, but
You have to pay inside.
You have to have a Microsoft 365 subscription, which is around $100 a year, give or take.
Yeah,
basically,
they claim it's free.
You have to, and you can view documents without it, but to do anything else, you have to have a subscription. Which it's you just have to deal with it.
I mean, it's fine if you already have a subscription.
Oh yeah, if you have a subscription, that's great.
Some jobs, some work hand those out, because they use a lot of stuff like that. So, if you use that, take advantage of it. Because the app itself, it does look pretty nice.
Yeah, it's a very nice,
so
very well developed app.
You have the subscription, and you are so addicted to Microsoft Office that you have to use it, then by all means, get that subscription. So that's your choice. But it is a really nice app. So that's really not too much to go with that unless you have anything to add.
It's available now. You can get Word, of course. You can get Excel, which I've actually heard Excel is really good, which shocked me, because that's a tough app to conquer. Excel is a very complicated, even on the desktop. So it's kind of cool that they have that, and then also you have PowerPoint, which seemingly works well. It's probably the most limited of the three, and they haven't said if any more will be coming. Also, if you do have an iPhone or an Android device, phone in specific, you can download Microsoft Office and use it completely free. Everything in there, nothing requires the subscription. It's only on the iPad that you need that subscription, and there's no word of it coming to Android tablets anytime soon.
Yeah. Well, still nice. I mean, and when you think of Microsoft Office, a lot of people are just like, oh yeah, it's Microsoft Word. I'm not going to pay, such and such each year or so whatever for my subscription. If you think about it, you are getting, it's kind of like getting it on your computer. You obviously had to pay to get it on your computer. You get it's just the three, the PowerPoint, Excel.
They have so many different packages. I think you can get.
For the iPad, I'm talking about.
Oh yeah, for the iPad, you have to download them three separately. They're three separate applications.
But you still get access through the subscription.
If you have the subscription, yeah, you can download them, and then you can sync it up with your OneDrive, and then you can edit those documents. So, if you have that, and, you're kind of integrated with that ecosystem, which if you have Windows 8, you probably are. So if you are into that kind of ecosystem, it's great news for you.
It
especially if
kind
you have an iPad.
of Windows 8 kind of nailed it into your head. You're like, you have to use Microsoft now. There's no going back.
Hmm.
But that's done. What? Can you take the next one, Ben? That's interesting.
Yes. This I mean, I kind of wrote this because I found it pretty interesting. And a developer on iOS has developed an app that takes advantage of Apple's iBeacon, which I mean, I've never really fully understood what iBeacon is.
Hmm.
I mean, basically, it's like an indoor positioning system, from what I understand. And it allows you to, if you have an iPhone or an iPad and you walk past a certain place, it uses Bluetooth to interact with whatever you want it to interact with. And this app is, it's pretty cool. It's called Be Here,
Hmm.
and what it does is, if you're a teacher, you have an iPad. The school would give you having an iPad, and then the kids would have iPod touches or iPhones.
Hmm.
And then when they walk into the classroom, it takes their attendance as soon as they walk in the classroom.
Hmm.
And then after that, if they are in the classroom and they're doing their work and they say, "Hey, I need help," they don't have to raise their hand or call out for the teacher. They just tap on their screen. It signals the teacher, and the teacher gets a line on their iPad. It shows the student, and then it shows which number they asked for help in.
Hmm.
So it's a really cool idea. I think
Yeah,
it's kind of classroom 2.0, but
definitely bringing it into the
it,
21st century.
I know it's going to have its downsides,
Oh,
but
definitely. Now, if you could fix those downsides, what I'm thinking the downsides could be kids stealing the iPods or whatever they're given, because everyone knows it's
I
probably
would
going to happen.
I would assume it's probably personal devices, and then whoever
Yeah,
doesn't have one would
yeah,
have to like rent one. Kind of like
or
how
yeah,
computers work in the schools. If they don't have a computer, they are rented a computer or sold a computer or given a computer. It doesn't, you
yeah.
know.
Or what they could do, they could use iBeacon to let the teacher know if someone has walked out of class with their iPod or with
Yeah,
their
that would be cool.
device, and then while they're taking attendance, they mark it on their special ID or whatever, so they know they took it, give it back or whatever. Whatever
Hmm.
precautions they have to take. That would be really interesting. I would love
Yeah.
to see that. And now you see so many schools with teachers with iPads just walking around, and everyone gets their own iPad sometimes. You know, uh, a lot of it. They'll have like little boxes that you can rent from like a library, and it'll have like a bunch of iPads just stacked up inside of it. But
Hmm.
that is a really cool idea. I do like that. I think it's one of the only apps I've heard of that actually takes advantage of iBeacon. I'm sure
I
there are
think,
others.
yeah, and there are a few others. Like Apple has a few built in, but
Yeah.
this is just it's a very unique use of it, and
Hmm.
honestly, I think it's really really cool.
Yeah.
I wish they had it when I was in school, so because that would have been nice.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Granted, I wouldn't have an iPad or an iPhone, but
Yeah.
anyway, let's move on to the next topic.
Yeah, but that is really cool. Well,
Yeah.
whoever developed that, props to you, because I love seeing developers come up with new ideas, kind of figure out new things that can help us.
Hmm.
That I do. I'm still stuck on that idea. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Anyways, moving on.
I read it. I
Uh,
was like, wow, that's genius. I can't believe no one thought of that yet.
yeah. So,
So yeah, let's go ahead and move on to the next
mhm.
topic. Andrew, you want to take that?
Yep. WWDC dates announced. Now, when will it be? It will be June 2nd to June 6th. Now, that's not too far away. That shouldn't be.
It's a couple months. Like about 2 months away. Yeah, 2 months away.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, when is Google I/O? I think Google I/O
Mm,
is. If it's that same week, man, that's gonna be a busy week.
huh.
Let me check real quick. I meant to check this earlier. I just didn't have a chance. Okay,
So,
no, Google
yeah.
I/O is at the end of the month. Sorry.
Yeah, I was thinking it was April, or end of June.
Is it June 25th to 26th? So,
Okay, okay.
but yeah,
Um,
WWDC is the 2nd to the 6th.
oh wow, I thought this would be, like September-ish.
Yeah, they make it so
They
it's
have some. They
after IO.
obviously have something up their sleeve.
Who knows? Maybe we might
I
see the
wouldn't.
next. Who knows
Okay.
what we'll see?
Yeah.
We could see
Yeah.
anything.
So really not much to it. It's just every year they'll have their annual WWDC where they announce like the new iOS, the new OS for their Macs or something. Last year was Mavericks. Last year was iOS 7. It was pretty big.
And the Mac Pro.
Yes, yes, the Mac Pro. They did the 5S as well. No, they didn't actually
No,
announce any phones at
that
last
was a
year's.
separate event. What they did at
Yeah.
last year's was, I think, don't quote me on it. I think it was the Mac Pro,
hmm
Mavericks, iOS 7, and then the MacBook Pro. No, iMac. Sorry.
I think that sounds right.
Yeah, they released two new iMacs as well.
I
New
do like
editions.
I like that logo that
And that's
on
a
the
cool
article.
graphic, the poster that they released with the press invitation. But
Yeah.
they did kind of tease a little bit what we're going to see. Of course, we kind of knew we were going to see it. Was developers are going to learn about the future of iOS and OS X. So
Hmm.
obviously, we already knew that we were going to see the next version of those two operating systems. But you know, it's something in there.
Yeah.
Also, I do want to mention developers. If you're a developer on iOS and you are planning to go to this, you need to go to. I forgot to get the link in that article. Anyway, you need to go. I'll put a link down in the description to where you need to go to apply for tickets to get into the event. You have until April 7th to apply, and tickets will be chosen at random for who gets to attend. Kind of like how Google I/O is doing it.
Very nice. Very special.
Hmm.
Yeah, there's a lot each year, but still, so many apply. I can guarantee it. Only so many get picked,
Hmm.
and it's just fun to watch. I'll watch like the keynote. I'll sit down and watch that. It's just like I'm ready. What do they have next up their sleeve? But it's still fun. So you never know. I'm still doubting the iWatch a lot. I really am
I'm
doubting
like
that.
I'm like half and half. It would be really cool if they did release the iWatch this, because if they do release it at that point, they're gonna beat Android Wear, and
Yeah,
that's the big thing. If they can beat Android Wear to market, or at least announce it before Android Wear is on the market,
yeah.
that's gonna be a big deal. I just hope they don't. And we've talked about what we want the iWatch to be. I'm not gonna go into that again
Excuse me.
because last time we did that, we went about a half an hour off track. But it'll be kind of interesting if they do release the iWatch at WWDC. I don't see it happening. I think they're gonna release it alongside the next iPhone, which leads us into our next topic. We got some new leaks of the iPhone 6.
We do. Well, that's surprising.
Yeah, it was a quick leak. Basically,
Can you send me that link, Ben?
yeah, here you go.
Because I don't have it with me.
Basically, it's what we expected. It looks like an iPhone, of course.
Mm-hmm.
And it looks like the camera comes out a little bit more than it used to, so maybe we're getting a better camera. But it's the one we saw was silver. It's a very blurry photo, supposedly taken inside of Foxconn's manufacturing facilities. Of course, this could be anything. It could be a fake phone. It could be whatever. But it looks like it could be the real deal. But it kind of looks like a mixture of an iPhone 5 and this is kind of weird, an iPod Nano.
It does.
So
I wouldn't say Nano. I would say the iPod Touch they have.
that could be
Because
too.
yeah, because that one's like I don't know. It's very flat on the back, but it's all aluminum. This looks mostly aluminum. I mean, unless they have the glass panes on the back, I doubt they do. They're gonna have, but yeah, I don't know. What's
Yeah,
that
we'll
at
have
the
to see what
bottom?
happens.
At the bottom of it, is it like a mouse? Yeah, that's a mouse.
I
It's
can't
the
really
mouse
tell.
pointer. It's like a mouse pointer, and it's on a
I never
program.
noticed that. I never noticed that. But
Yeah,
also, it just shows us it looks like it's a bigger one. So if it is a
sure.
larger iPhone, it's probably the 4.7-inch model that's rumored, which is supposedly going to come alongside the 5.5-inch model, which I'm skeptical about. I don't know about you. I
Yeah,
don't
I don't.
I just don't see Apple being that.
Yeah,
well, not out of the box, but I don't see them being that daring with the iPhone name.
yeah, because I feel like, well, remember, it's not going to be an iPhone, so it's going to be like a,
Well, I honestly don't believe that anymore.
yeah, me neither. But
But we'll see what happens.
I don't know. I feel like they've always done one at a time, and to go with something phablet-ish, then,
I know one thing. If it is a phablet, I know there will be a lot of people getting iPhones next year.
oh yeah, definitely. People are just drawn to phablets. Now, you said, it's funny, you said Apple can't seem to keep their iPhones a secret anymore. Well, neither can HTC.
Oh
They
my
obviously
word.
they obviously win that medal.
Yeah,
Um,
they definitely won it. The Nexus 5, I think, held it before that, and then the iPhone 5 before that.
yeah,
Because I mean,
yeah,
if you remember, if I don't know, I mean, I know you really weren't into it as much when the Nexus 5 came out, but oh my word, it felt like there was a new leak every 10 minutes, which
yeah,
is with the HTC I made, it was probably like every 5 minutes. But
yeah.
it's just like it's. I mean, I mean, I'm gonna quote MK Marquez Brownlee from MKBHD. It's 2014. Everything leaks.
Yeah,
So
it
there's no
seems
getting
like
around
it.
it. There's no getting around it for these companies. Just deal with it. You know what I just realized?
Hmm.
I published this article on April Fool's Day, so that explains quite a bit. But anyway, yeah, it
There's
could. I
some
mean,
pretty fun things happening on April Fool's Day with
yeah.
Google and their shenanigans. I love
Google
you
had
have
a
to love
lot
Google.
of stuff going on. Yeah,
Yeah, they
they
had
were.
that Pokemon find and catch thing that happened. That was fun. You know what I did? I just looked up where the most common
I
places to go
didn't.
were.
I did not even have a chance to do that because I was on. I okay. There's 4G, there's 3G, and then there's Edge. 3G is bearable, 4G is preferred. I know you can't even experience 4G yet because your iPhone,
Yeah, definitely not.
but 1X or Edge is just unbearable. And where I work,
Oh,
that's
I've
all
been
I
on
have.
1X all the time.
That's
That's
all I have. It's
where
terrible.
on the campus for me. It's like it's ridiculous because
It's oh my.
they
I
block
mean,
in the signal. I
I
mean,
don't
I
know if
was recently able
it's
to get Wi-Fi, but
I don't know if it's just me that because I use 4G most of the time, and then 3G is like, oh my word, this is taking forever. 1X is just like, I give up. I just turn the phone off because I just
oh
can't. I
yeah,
can't stand it. I can't get anything done. So they did that. I was gonna go in and try it. I opened up the app.
it was really fun. Actually,
I left it
I
open
love.
for 10 minutes. Nothing happened.
Well, sorry about that. I regret that
And then I got home
that you
and
couldn't
I
do that.
forgot. And
Well,
then I got home and I forgot about it.
the funny thing is, they put actually stuck one. You know how they place them everywhere throughout the map, and you have to go find them.
Hmm.
They actually stuck one on Apple Incorporated. I was sitting there laughing.
That is pretty good.
Like that was one of the first places I looked because I was just like, they have to be joking with Apple. So like search there, and lo and behold, there was actually one at Area 51 too. It
That's
was
pretty
funny.
cool. Yeah,
Anyways,
Google's pretty good with their April Fool's jokes.
and then the shelfie thing that they
That got
did.
annoying. And
Yeah,
well, not really the fact that it was behind your emails all the time. For me, it's because on Google, I get a lot of my news through Google Plus. I don't use like Feedly or anything like that anymore.
yeah.
I just get all my news through Google Plus, and I turn notifications on for who I want notifications from. One of those is Gmail. So all day, it's like trending now, like literally every hour. It was so annoying. It just got old really quick.
It's
And it's
funny.
just, there's a difference between doing something and having fun with it and beating it to death, and which I call being Samsung. But anyway, it's just like they completely beat that to death, and you know, it was cool, but if you had notifications turned on, it was really annoying.
Yeah,
But
but
it was a cool
what are you
idea.
gonna do?
I think that was one of their cooler April Fool's jokes.
Yeah,
Which they always do a good job on their April Fool's jokes. I think
yeah,
one of the funny ones I saw was they did the Google Fiber delivering coffee to your house. That was awesome. That was
oh yeah,
absolutely
yeah, yeah.
hilarious. I mean, I was just like, it would have been even funnier if my, like looking into stuff hadn't started happening and I was watching the video and I thought I saw a Nexus 8. And I sent the screenshot to a bunch of people, and they thought the same thing. So I don't know. Maybe we saw the Nexus 8. I wasn't about to publish that on April Fool's Day, but it looked like a Nexus 8 to me.
Yeah, the
It,
funniest thing is on that Pokemon ad though. They displayed it was like, oh yeah, you can go around, just use your Nexus, and you can find them like in caves or something. And I was like, that's amazing if that was real. But really, the reality is just people sitting on their couches or beds,
hmm
looking through Google Maps, trying to find a pixelated Pokeball.
Yeah.
But anyways, Google did a good job with that. It's pretty funny. So back to WDC. Well, not really back. I mean, just on the article, you can see the full Apple press release. I personally, I'll probably watch the keynote when it comes out. I am expecting a couple of things to come out of Apple, obviously. So who knows? And then the iPhone 6 leaks. I don't know about those. They look interesting.
Somewhat legitimate. That's what I'm
If
gonna
it
call
wasn't
them.
so blurry,
I'm
then
gonna give it a 5 out of 10 on legitimacy.
okay. We'll
Now on
we'll
another
stick you to that.
on another leak that happened this morning. This isn't on the rundown. I just want to talk about it real quick.
Okay.
Was the Galaxy S5 zoom? So we're gonna move into Android here.
Mhm.
The Galaxy S5 zoom. I don't know if you ever saw the Galaxy S4 zoom, but it is an atrocity. It looks so disgusting. It's like someone took a Galaxy S4 Mini, not the Galaxy S4, but the Mini, and then just took one of those old point and shoot cameras and just did that. It's so disgusting. It looks gross. You can't fit it in your pocket. It's just it's a nightmare. It's an absolute nightmare.
Just smush them together. Hope
Yeah,
something comes out.
it is so disgusting. But the S5 zoom
Yeah.
looks incredible. I'm gonna leave. That'll be the first one under Android in the notes down below. It looks absolutely awesome. I mean, Alex didn't feel the same way. I sent it to him. He didn't. He does not like it at all. I honestly, I kind of liked it. And if Samsung software was better, I would not mind carrying that because it has a supposedly 20 megapixel camera. I wouldn't mind carrying that because then you have the benefit of a good camera and a phone, and it doesn't look terrible.
Yeah.
Personally, I'm gonna give that one a 9 out of 10 as being real, because I definitely think that was real.
Yeah, well, I haven't seen it yet, so I'll get back to you on that. If you
I
want to
think
send me the link later.
I'm pretty sure it's real. I'm pretty sure it's real.
All right.
But
Well,
let's go ahead and go into the next topic.
since we're already in Android.
Yeah, we're in Android, so let's go on to the next topic, and that is powered by Android logo now required on upcoming devices. So, there's this word floating around in Android. A lot of people like it, a lot of people hate it, and it's
Mhm.
just a thing. It's true, and it's actually happens. Is fragmentation.
Mhm.
That's where there's different versions of Android out there. There are different screen sizes and all this. I mean, all these other just idiosyncrasies that just kind of they make every phone and every tablet and everything on Android different,
Yeah.
and it causes problems. Not every app. I can't run every app that maybe like HTC One can run. I can't run all those apps. It just it depends. It's just a thing that happens. But now,
Yeah.
and also the other thing is Google is kind of losing the name Android. And
Yeah.
that's what this is mainly trying to combat. Is you have the Galaxy phones, you have the HTC phones, you have the Motorola phones, but the only one in that list, like just take those three, Motorola, it looks like what Android is supposed to look like.
Yeah.
If you take a Galaxy S5, it looks completely different. If you take a HTC One, it looks slightly different. It's not, wow, that's completely different operating system. It's just it looks a little different.
Yeah. With Galaxy, I never really liked Galaxy and how
I
they
don't
like
really
to
I
how
don't
they
really
like to take and manipulate Android.
hmm
Um.
But the
it-
point of that is, with the
Yeah.
Galaxy phones, is there are so many people out there that they'll just say, and, I can walk up to them and say, hey, you have an Android phone. That's pretty cool. I do too. And they'll say, I don't have an Android phone. I have a Galaxy phone.
Yeah.
And it's just like, the Android is just, it's not a household name. I don't think it ever was a household name. Like iPhone, iOS, those are household names.
Mhm.
The average person, if I say, do you know what iOS is? They're going to say, yeah, it's what's on my iPhone. But if I say what's Android, there are going to be a lot of people who don't know what that is, or they're just going to associate it with the old Motorola phones that were on Verizon, the Droids. But so now Google's trying to kind of fight that by requiring if a manufacturer, say Samsung or HTC, wants to be able to use apps like the Google Play Store or Google Plus or things like that, they have to, on the boot up screen, so when they're turning the phone on, it has to say powered by Android down at the bottom. So it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's a clever way of them saying, hey, this is Android. You have an Android phone, and there's no way around that. So it's kind of nice that they're trying to kind of fight back on taking control of Android again.
Yeah. At first, I saw some things where it would say they had like, sorry about that, but let me just tell you real quick. I saw some things where they would have like stickers on the back of the phone, and I was like, no. Don't do that. But now that you're saying the boot up screen, and I heard that recently, I was like, oh, okay, that makes a lot more sense, and I do like that. So whatever you were saying. Continue.
Yeah, and then Samsung, they didn't say, this is not an Android phone. They actually put it in the packaging, and on the box it says Android on it. But the average person doesn't look at that. They just, when they buy a phone, they open it up, they power it on, they take off all the plastic, and they never look at it again.
Yeah, they put everything inside.
If someone like me, I mean, I still have all my boxes to everything. I got my original Chromebook. I still have my box to. So I like to keep my boxes, but the average person, they throw them away. They never look at it once they open the phone. So
I still have my original box to my Samsung slide phone, Infinity 2 or whatever that was.
Oh my goodness!
I still have that box. It's sitting up in my closet somewhere.
Yeah, but it's techie people. They kind of like to keep their boxes to their.
It's like little mementos.
Yeah, I mean, in our office, if you've ever been watching our videos on the YouTube channel, you've probably seen that behind us or behind a desk or something like that. You'll see we just have this whole wall covered in boxes. It's got, I think it's got a couple Chromebook boxes. It's got a MacBook box. It's got, it's probably got a couple dozen boxes up there. But the average person, that was completely off topic anyway. But the average person, they're not going to look at the packaging for a device where it's going to say Android. Yeah. They're going to pull a device out, and they're going to look at it, and they're done. Now it's every time they turn the phone on, if it's off, which actually it surprises me how much the average person thinks I have to turn this off when I'm not using it. It kind of surprises me.
Yeah.
So now every time they turn it on, it's going to say at the bottom in huge letters, powered by Android.
Dun, 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 dun. There's going to be music playing in the background. It's going to be insane.
Yeah, it's going to say Droid. No.
Yeah, no, but for every phone, doesn't matter.
Yeah, okay, let's move on now.
That's a good idea.
That went pretty far. Sprint LG G2 gets the KitKat update, which is cool to see. I'm not going to spend much time on this. Basically, KitKat for the G2 kind of enhances it a little more, better battery life, a smoother interface, and it's KitKat, which is the latest and greatest in Android. So it's nice to see that Sprint now has that. I'm waiting for it on my Verizon. I mean, I can do signage in mod, but I kind of like using stock. It's kind of nice, but actually, Alex is thinking about getting a Sprint G2, so we may do a video of that on the channel once he gets back.
As not his daily driver, but just
his daily driver. He is thinking about switching.
Didn't he just get another iPhone?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
This is record time.
We can talk about him now because he's 5,000 feet up in the air.
Yes, and he has no internet access.
Yeah, unless he's one of those snobby people who buys internet on the airplane.
But yeah, anyway, he is getting a G2 on Sprint, so we may do a comparison of Jelly Bean and KitKat. If you want that, leave a comment or let us know on Twitter or something, and we'll try to make that happen.
Yes.
Anyway, moving on.
We depend on you.
Yes, but that update is rolling out now. So if you have a Sprint G2. Check your updates, and you should be able to get it very soon. It's rolling out, and it's one of those rollouts. It's just like it takes time.
Yeah, we're not saying check it like every second.
Yeah,
just keep an eye on it.
And please don't post a screenshot of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, Galaxy Tab 4 announcement. So now we have even more of Samsung's mid-range tablets.
Another one of their schemes.
So Samsung's Galaxy Tab line, if you're not familiar with it, it's been around a while. and now we're at the 4th generation. They always have 3 models. They have a 7-inch, an 8-inch, and a 10.1-inch. They're not bad tablets, especially when they first came out, because they were high ends when they first came out. But anyway, they're usually like mid-range spec, a dual core or a low-end quad core processor, and a 720p screen. And I have to say this: the Galaxy Tab 3 and the Galaxy Tab 4. There are 2 differences between the two, and that's all there is.
Really?
They have a recent apps button now, instead of a menu button,
Okay.
and they changed the wallpaper.
Well, doesn't the Tab 3 also have a recent apps button?
No, it doesn't have a recent. It has a menu button.
Oh, okay. Well, the home button kind of doubles as the recent apps.
Yeah, but no, now it's a dedicated recent apps. So they replaced
Okay,
the menu
yeah.
button with a dedicated recent apps button,
And
which
and
is how it
obviously-
should have always been.
Yeah, obviously, these are still hardware buttons. They're not on screen.
Mhm.
It's always with Samsung. So that's
Yeah,
okay.
it's not okay, but I don't like it. I don't like it. Some people like it because it gives them a little more screen space. But anyway, that's a topic for another day.
Yep.
They've been announced. They are coming soon. Prices, I'm assuming, are going to stay the same as they are on the Tab 3. Hopefully these will perform a little bit better because they're running KitKat out of the box, and KitKat, has lower system requirements. So, we'll see what happens. Pricing not announced yet, but we'll see what happens.
It shouldn't differ from Tab 3 when it was originally announced. So
I can hope not.
let's hope it doesn't jack up the price too much. All right.
If they do that, that's no. But anyway,
That's on
okay.
them.
Let's
Next
move
thing,
on.
you will like this, Ben.
I love
Sure you
this.
like-
I
yes.
love this so much. The Chromecast sold. Okay, if you're not familiar with the Chromecast, which I'm hoping you are,
We've talked about it a
$35
couple times.
HDMI streaming dongle. If you don't have one, go to Best Buy, go to Amazon, go buy one because it's the best $35 you'll ever spend. Basically,
Spend with the.
I said spend.
Okay, it sounded like you said spent.
No, I said
Point
spend.
is. you need to get
It
one.
launched in several other countries. It's been in the US only since its release last summer. It finally came to other countries a few weeks ago. And when it launched in Europe, I don't remember where, I think it was in the UK.
Yeah.
One store, I can't remember the name of the store right now. I'm kind of out of it. But anyway, they when they launched it, they
Radio
sold one unit every 4.5 seconds. And
Good
they
Chromecast.
compared that to the launch of the original iPad. So that's pretty incredible that they sold one unit every 4.5 seconds.
I mean, but it's only $35. So I feel like people
can't
should
remember the
buy it
price.
more than
I
the iPad.
can't remember how the pricing differs. I think it's £30 in UK.
No one knows.
I think it's £30.
Okay.
I try to
It's
keep
all
track of
money.
the British stuff. But anyway, yeah. If you don't have a Chromecast, even if you live in the U.S., if you don't live in the U.S., if you live overseas, definitely see if it's available in your country. It's available, I think, in 12 countries now, including UK. I want to say Australia, U.S., and several more. Price is going to differ, but it's cheap. You can't beat $35 if you're in the U.S. to get Netflix and Hulu and YouTube and all these other streaming services to your TV. You can't get any cheaper than that, and it's simple. So,
Obviously, you need TV
yes,
compatibility.
you do need an HD TV, but I'm assuming most people have one of those by now, because
Really? Because I still have the tube TV. I love that thing so much. I can't get rid of it. It's too nice. I actually have the box too up in the no. I don't. It's flat screen. It's HD. Don't worry.
Yeah, just no.
Don't lose respect for me, Ben. It's HD.
Are you kidding me? I just got a flat screen this year, so anyway, okay, moving on. Speaking of streaming devices, Amazon finally released, after anticipation and rumors and leaks and everything else, they finally released their streaming device, which is called the Amazon Fire TV. And honestly, it's pretty nice. I don't know if Andrew, did you get a chance to look at this at all?
I did, and then I lost the link. So I was looking for. Oh, wait, found it. $99 available yesterday.
Let's not do what Amazon did, and let's talk about the pricing first. It's $99, If you don't understand that reference, basically I was watching the event. They beat around that price as much as they possibly could. Oh my word!
They
I
were
was
like,
like,
look, it's
just tell
comparable to
me the
Chromecast,
price. Just tell me the
and
price. Yeah,
they're
but
they're
anyway.
trying to compare it to Chromecast, and
Hmm.
they're like building it up so you think it's a lot better than Chromecast, and then they throw the price at you and it just hits you in the head, and knocks
Which,
you out.
if it is for you, if it does what you want it to do, yes, it's better than the Chromecast. Is it better bang for buck? No. But is it a better device? Yes. What does it do? It does what you expect. Netflix, Hulu Plus, ESPN, all these things you expect from a streaming device. It kind of reminds me of an Apple TV. Are you looking at the picture of it, Andrew?
Yeah, I am.
It
It
looks like an
does.
Apple TV, doesn't it?
It's the little square box with its own remote,
Hmm.
similar to the Apple TV remote.
It
It's a
looks
matte black though.
Yeah, and it looks. I mean, it looks great. I honestly, if it was $79, I'd probably buy one just to see if I like it, and then decide where to go from there. But and then of course you can do Amazon Instant Video on it, which is their
Mhm.
streaming service. And if you have a Prime account, if you can finally use that. I'm just waiting for them to release an Android app for it, which they still have not done, and it annoys me every day.
Don't worry, Ben. It's
But
okay.
anyway, so it's a nice device. You can do what you want to do on it, but it's
Yeah.
got a couple little tricks up its sleeve.
Quote
First
from
of
the
all,
article.
yes. No, I like saying that. But anyway, it's got two little things in it that kind of make it different from everything else. So if you have an Apple TV or Chromecast, you might, obviously Google and Apple, they're not going to say, oh, these are low spec devices. The Chromecast, because I know off the top of my head, has about a half a gig of RAM
Hmm.
and a dual core processor, so it can do the streaming. The Fire TV has a quad core chip inside
Hmm.
and 2 gigs of RAM.
Dose.
So that's a phone. That's a phone or a tablet. My tablet has 2 gigs RAM and a quad core chip. So it's it
So
seems
maybe
like
you do think it's worth $99.
it
Oh,
seems like it seems that seem might seem like overkill for streaming TV, but it does
but
more
I
than
mean, it's
that.
also like it's a gaming machine too,
It
where
is, it's like a gaming console. Yes, you
has
can
its own little
do.
controller.
Yes, you can buy a controller. Obviously, you have to buy the controller. It's separate. It's $40, which for controller that's not bad, but it depends
Yeah.
on if you're this kind of gamer. You get
Yeah.
titles like Asphalt 8, which you're gonna get mobile games because this is an Android device. It does run Android under the hood. They didn't say which version. I'd have to assume it's either 4.2, 4. I mean, it's probably 4.3 or 4.4, is my guess. But
Yeah, I thought I saw it on here. But
no, they never released a.
okay.
To my knowledge, they never released a Android version. But basically, you'll be able to play titles that you'd see on Riptide GP2, Asphalt 8, and honestly, the first one they showed was Minecraft, which you can see how popular that is. So the
Oh,
first one they
definitely.
show in the event is Minecraft. So you can play that on that, and the cool thing is, on Android games differ in price. You'll see them from like $1 to like $10. On
Yeah.
on the Fire TV, you'll see them at an average. They'll cost about $2. So that's pretty good. I mean, $2 for a game. That's a pretty good price.
Yeah. It's
And it's gonna
almost.
have your favorite titles. They have quite a selection.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for a low cost gaming solution and you also want a streaming device and you're not looking for a PlayStation 3 or something, then I would say check out the Kindle Fire TV. Like, not the Kindle Fire TV, the Fire TV. It's a pretty good option for $140. You're going to be getting the device, the remote, and the controller. And there's one more feature that kind of sets it apart that I thought was pretty cool. It has voice recognition.
Hmm.
So I don't know, Andrew, have you ever used an Apple TV or a Roku?
I have not used Roku, but I do use Apple TV sometimes.
Okay. So have you ever tried to search for something and tried to type on one of those
I
devices?
hate it. I hate it so much. It's
Yes.
ridiculous.
It's what they
It's the
don't have.
worst thing ever.
There's no keyboard. All you have is that little D-pad, and it's the worst thing to type on. It's kind of like typing on a game controller or on a
I hate
um,
that too.
or on a I just completely lost my train of thought. But anyway, it's not that easy to type on.
You know, when I use Xbox and I have to type on something, I just go immediately to my Xbox app, the Xbox Play app, because then you can type from there. Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
yeah, I do like using it. Oh, a spider.
But,
I'm gonna kill that soon.
yeah. Anyway, so what this in the remote, you have a dedicated button that you can click to activate voice recognition, and you can speak to it and it'll type for you. So, that's pretty unique. The Apple TV doesn't do that, the Roku doesn't do that, and I'm sure by the next release they will. So
Yeah,
it's
but
kind of
once they see the Fire TV,
yeah,
they're like, we need someone to get on that.
yeah. So we'll see what happens. Hopefully they'll implement that, but for now the Fire TV is the only one that does that, and $99, not bad. I would have liked to see it a little bit less, but I guess for what it does, awesome.
Yeah. Well, I mean, if it was $99 and the game controller came with it, yeah.
If it was $99 and the game controller came with it, I probably would have picked it up just so I can see if I like it.
Yeah.
But yeah, $99. There's links down on our website, so you can check those out. I thought this was kind of funny. This just kind of cracked me up when I saw it. It doesn't include an HDMI cable.
Excuse me? So you have to buy one.
You have to buy a separate HDMI cable. So they're kind of bringing back what they did with the Kindle. When I brought my brother a Kindle Fire HD, the 2012 model, yeah. And when I bought it, he opened up the package and he asked me, "Where's the charger?" It doesn't come with a charging adapter. It just comes with a cable. It just, Amazon, they kind of crack me up. They leave out the things that you actually need.
Yeah. But in your computer, you'll be fine. So they did. Do they still do that with the iPod Touch? I feel like they do. They only give you the Lightning cable, and then they don't give you the
I don't know. I've never.
the 9 volt port. This thing. They give you the cable. Well, at least they used to. When I had my iPod Touch 4th gen, they only gave me the cable. They were like, "Here, just plug it into your computer. You'll be fine."
Yeah. It's kind of annoying, especially when these big companies do. I can see, like, if I'm buying, like, the Moto G, that doesn't come with a wall adapter. Fine, it's $179 without a contract. Yeah, I'm not gonna complain. I can pick up a wall adapter for $10, but it's just like you're paying this money from a bigger company. Amazon's they're a big company. Yeah. You're paying this money to them, and they're not giving you something you're gonna need to use that device. It's if you're looking to get something like that, just keep it in mind. You're gonna have to buy an HDMI cable for it. Yeah. Which the one they recommend is of course their brand. Which honestly I use that brand personally, and it's great. $6. So
yeah.
Yeah, links down in the description to go pick that up if you're interested in it, and you can read more about it if you'd like. If you guys really do want to see content on it, I might get one later down the road just to test it out.
But you have to you gotta fill out a form, and you gotta let Ben know. It's a lot of work.
It's a complicated process.
Yeah, you really gotta make him want one to make him get one. Maybe Alex will get one. Who knows?
Yeah, he hasn't got it though. He hasn't got Chromecast yet. But anyway, we're gonna stop there. We've gone on quite a while actually. But we're going to stop it there. That's it for the rundown. A couple quick announcements. Podcasts are going to go back to Tuesdays starting next week.
We really are sorry about that.
Yeah, we've been recording on Thursdays just because of complications with my schedule and Alex not being here. So we've been recording on Thursdays, and now we're going to start recording on Tuesdays again. And if you follow our social networks, specifically Google+, that's where we primarily make announcements. We do give links so you guys can watch live.
Yeah.
So they'll be returning to Tuesdays, and we'll probably be recording around 6 or 7. I don't know yet the time, but we'll find out. And they're probably going to get a little shorter, like probably getting for 45 minutes from now on.
Yeah, we can't help. We just love talking tech with you guys.
Oh yeah, it's so fun.
It's going to be hard to cut that down.
Yeah, but
that's about it.
Anyway, yeah, let's close it off. Do want to remind you that the podcast is available on Pocket Casts, iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Xbox Music, RSS feed, and YouTube. So all the links are down below and on our website if you want to check those out. And we'll see you guys next week.
See you.